Hello everyone. In this instructable, I am going to explain you how to build this logic circuit IC tester. First of all, why do we need this? If you have multiple ICs and you are soldering them together to create something awesome, but one of them is not working, you had a lot of work, but nothing happens, and it's really hard to find the reason for it. You at least don't have this problem if you're testing your ICs before. Of course, you could build this with a nice display and multiple things to test, but I wanted to create something simple that is still powerful. I mean, what is more simple than an LED as the output? And because you just have two inputs that create the output, you just need two switches. So why do we need a 32-pin IC socket then? Well, let's look at the inputs and outputs of the NOR gate first. I've chosen the 74HC02 NOR gate here, but the testing board should also work with other ICs that have the same input and output pins. In this picture, I marked the inputs yellow and the outputs blue. I keep this picture here that you can look at it and compare it to the other possible pinout. I've chosen the 74HCT08 AND gate here, but as with the NOR gate, you can test other ICs if the pinouts are the same. In this picture, I've marked the inputs yellow and the outputs green. So on a testing device, you have one side for the NOR gate pinout and the other one for the AND gate pinout. You have to test them separately because there's just one IC fitting in at a time. After you've soldered everything together, you can power it up with a 5-volt source. I've connected mine to a breadboard which has a voltage regulator on it. It's risky to put the ICs in when a device is running, because if they're wrong inside the socket, the ICs can get very hot and damaged. So either be very careful or just power it up after you've put in the IC. The buttons lead to different inputs. One button is connected to every input A, and the other button is connected to every input B. The LEDs are obviously the output. Let's start and test the NOR gates first. In the right corner, you can see the logic table corresponding to NOR gates. As you can see, the LEDs are on when no button is pressed and off if one or both buttons are pressed. So it's working correctly. If the IC wouldn't work properly, you'd see that not all of the LEDs are doing the same. Now let's check also the other one. This is also working correctly. Now to the AND gates. It's the same principle, but now the green LEDs become important. I've also put the logic table in the right corner so you can follow along easier. If both of the buttons aren't pressed, no LED is on. We see the same behavior with only one button pressed. Both buttons have to be pressed to see the LEDs on. So we see this is working correctly. And now let's check the other one. And it is also working correctly. So there's no risk for my project with those 4 ICs. Now you saw how easy it can be to check if an IC with logic gates on it is working correctly. More descriptions and the schematics can be found in an instructable in text form. Thanks for watching.